Jamie and I both play in Perpetual Motion Machine, which is a 6-piece jazz rock ensemble featuring 2 guitars, Jamie and myself, Ben Lowman and Riley Stone-Lonergan playing saxophones, Garry Jackson playing bass and Steve Hanley playing drums. We take inspiration from some of the earlier jazz rock experiments before things got too quantized, but still very much with a modern slant on jazz harmony and rhythms and so on. So it doesn't kind of end up being too many endless vamps. There's still a lot of harmony going on as well.
Because what was great about that time as well was you had the crossover between the jazz scene and the rock scene, and you had these festivals where, you know, acts would be playing alongside Miles Davis, alongside Jimi Hendrix and the Doors and all of those people. So there's a little bit of an element of harking back to that in terms of the spirit of the thing. But then, as Sam says, you know, it's not a retro thing. We're trying to have a contemporary slant on it. We're trying to take influences from things that are happening now as well. But I would certainly say it's jazz rock maybe rather than fusion, because that conjures up an image of perhaps something that came a little later in the 80s, which is perhaps not really our sound.
Some of those sort of early rock bands like Led Zeppelin, there was kind of like a Britishness or an Englishness to it as well. King Crimson, you know, as well as kind of taking the American blues thing and the jazz thing, there's also this kind of folk thing. And I know we both find that really exciting.
Yeah, oh, very much so. Yeah.
So having the 2 saxophones blowing together in unison is such a huge sound as well. You get this kind of strange sort of phase effect almost, where it's, you know, like a chorus or something. This massive sound that kind of cuts through the middle. Again, sort of this, with the guitars there and the saxophones are kind of right down the middle. I mean, hopefully, of course we don't know, do we? We're
Well, no.
on the stage, but
That's how it sounds from our end.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The roots of this band go back a long way. We've known each other, and Garry, who plays bass, for the best part of 20 years now.
Yes, yeah.
And we've done 2 guitar gigs, done gigs with Garry, but it's always been very straight ahead, I think. And this is the first time I think we've really had a project where we said, right, let's get a sound.
Sam mentions about the fact that we have the shared history, and that originally some of it was very much in the straight ahead thing, you know, and we can sit down still and we can do a pretty good sort of Barney Kessel and Herb Ellis impression, you know, which is not what this band sounds like, but I think the fact that that's in there definitely feel.
Yeah.
Well, I know you feel the same.
Yeah,
You know, it's informing the music a lot, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
that kind of tradition. Even though it's not, you know, this music isn't bebop or swing, but all of the players, and I'm sure Riley would say the same, and Ben, you know, Gary, Steve, all of them. You know, the way they play is, the setting is different maybe to what, you know, you might have heard from us before. But it's still musicians that are steeped in all those traditions and love them, you know, have great love and respect for all that music too, you know.
Yeah, and all the guys that we sort of, you know, kind of grown up listening to, like Chris Potter, you know, these sorts of guys are kind of steeped in that, but not shackled by
Not
it.
stuck in it.
Yeah, it informs what they do. And again, going back to the compositional side of things, the harmony we're playing would definitely be recognisable to a straight-ahead jazz musician. Perhaps some of the kind of rhythmic elements and the textural elements wouldn't be, but it's still very definitely that, you know.
It's about how high you wear your guitar.
Yeah, sure.
The rockier you become, the lower
Yeah.
it goes down the body.
The shininess of the shoes
Shyness
as well.
of the
We're
shoe.
actually...
You see, now, well, look at
that's
that.
it.
There
Probably
you go.
can't see
So
it on
you've
the
got
camera,
Converse
but-
on the one side, that's the rock element.
Yeah, and here's the
Brogue
jazz there,
is
the traditional
I don't know
brogue
whether
there.
you can see that. That's, I think really our footwear sums up
Yep.
the ethos.
Yes,
It's about better
it
than our
does.
words ever could, yeah.
Thank you so much. Got Jamie Taylor on the end on guitar there. Ben Lowman on sax and bass clarinet. Riley Stone-Lonergan. Garry Jackson at the P bass. Steve Hanley on drums there. Thanks so much. I'm Sam Dunn. Perpetual Motion Machine.